This is London, the year 1500 AD, a deeply peaceful and enchanting morning. Today, we will travel back in time to walk through the ancient streets, busy markets, and lush green fields of this era, where nature is in its full glory. Let's explore the background of 1500s London, where the pace of life is slow, the air smells of fresh earth, and every scene feels like a calm documentary moving before our eyes. The peaceful morning and green environment of 1500 AD. When the morning of the year 1500 rises over the outskirts of London, the orange glow of the horizon turns the dewdrops on the grass into shimmering gold. In the vast green meadows surrounding ancient houses made of wood and mud, the chirping of birds sounds like heavenly music, as if every nightingale and sparrow is singing a poem for the new day. The environment is so quiet that there is no noise of engines for miles. Only the rustle of the wind and the faint, rhythmic tolling of church bells fill the air with spiritual peace. The walls of these old houses are built from clay and straw, and as the first rays of the sun peek through small windows, the scent of plants in the courtyard awakens. Nature is so close to humans here that people look upon the ancient oak trees outside their homes as silent guardians. In this cool morning breeze, the earthy fragrance of the soil is so deep that it refreshes the soul, making one realize that the true beauty of life lies in this simplicity and natural calm. The ancient village school and children at play. In a corner of the village, under a cluster of leafy trees, the scene of the ancient school is truly beautiful, where children sit on wooden benches with great respect before their teacher. Here, education is not just about books, but about learning manners and the right way to live, with words written on wooden tablets signaling a bright future for the young ones. In this quiet setting, the soft voice of the teacher and the harmony of children repeating their lessons create an atmosphere of learning that is far from today's noise, but bright with the light of knowledge. As the afternoon shadows grow long, these same children gather in the open fields in front of the school to play traditional games. With wooden toys, sticks, and games of hide and seek, their laughter echoes far and wide, reflecting a sense of freedom that was unique to this peaceful era. There is no bitter competition here. Instead, there is a spirit of playing together, which teaches them deep lessons of brotherhood, sacrifice, and love from a very young age. Farmers and oxen working in the fields at dawn. With the rising sun, farmers head to the fields with their hardworking pairs of oxen, where the sound of the plow and the farmers' folk tunes fill the air with energy. This is not just labor, it is an expression of love for the land, where the farmer cares for his oxen like his own children, and the bells tied around their necks create a melodic rhythm with every step. This process of tilling the earth to grow grain is so peaceful that anyone watching would be convinced of the greatness and dignity of hard work. Beads of sweat shine on the farmers' foreheads, but a smile of gratitude remains on their lips because they know their livelihood is tied to this pure earth. At noon, when they sit under the shade of an old tree to eat a breakfast of fresh bread and yogurt, one feels that true kingship lies in contentment. The coordination of the oxen and the wisdom of the farmer together create a living picture of the economic prosperity and rural stability of 1500s London. Ancient transportation and rows of animals. The travel facilities of this era are entirely different from the noise of today, with wooden-wheeled bullock carts moving slowly along dusty paths. These carts are loaded with sacks of grain, and the creaking sound of the wheels breaks the silence of the village, giving a sense of life and motion. On both sides of the roads, horsemen pass with dignity on their tall horses, their attire and the decoration of their steeds reflecting their social status, yet every traveler remembers to greet the other with a smile. Sometimes rows of camels coming from distant lands can be seen heading toward the city, carrying spices and precious fabrics. The large bells hanging from their necks create a specific rhythm. This transportation is not just about moving goods, but is a bridge between cultures, where travelers stay at roadside inns and share stories of faraway places. The slow pace of travel allows humans to fully enjoy the scenery and the beauty of nature along the way. The impact of seasons and the village in the rain. In 1500s London, the changing of seasons is like a celebration, and when it rains, the entire landscape finds a new life. Small ponds form on the unpaved roads, and the sound of drops dripping from the roofs of mud houses becomes a lovely music as the whole village is washed into a deep shade of green. During the rain, farmers tie their oxen under shelters and sit in the porches of their homes, watching the beautiful rain, a sign of mercy and blessing to them. In winter, when a thick fog wraps the fields, a white blanket covers everything as far as the eye can see, and the dim sunlight tries in vain to pierce through. The impact of these seasons is seen directly in human behavior. Sitting around the fire to tell stories in winter and sleeping under the open sky in summer is a way of life. When the smell of wet earth fills the air after a downpour, every living being looks joyful, proving how happy humans are in every color of nature. The peaceful atmosphere of the old city and markets. Stepping inside the City of London, an ancient and dignified world welcomes us, where stone-paved streets and wooden buildings testify to history. The population here is small, and the bond between people is very deep. There is no artificial rush in the markets, but rather a respectful busyness. Shopkeepers display their goods neatly on wooden planks. Silk, woolen clothes, and handmade jewelry attract customers, but there is no sign of cheating or dishonesty here. The style of trade in the city markets is traditional and based on high morals, where respect is evident in the conversation between the buyer and the merchant. People gather around fountains in the center of the market to share the latest news of the city, while the appetizing smell of fresh bread and roasted meat fills the air. These markets are not just centers of trade, but the best places for social gathering, where people from all walks of life come for their needs and return with a sense of kindness. The city streets and lifestyle of 1500 AD are narrow but very clean, with beautiful wooden buildings rising high on both sides. The schools and churches are masterpieces of architecture, where a special kind of dignity is felt in the silence, and gatherings of wisdom and knowledge are seen everywhere. In the city lifestyle, punctuality and discipline are visible, yet people still have plenty of time for one another, and life flows with a sense of calm. The city markets open every morning with fresh energy, as vegetables and fruits are brought in from the villages. The city dwellers consider these fresh items the secret to their health. There is no artificiality in life here. Everything exists in its original state, whether it is the people walking the streets or their style of housing. People take great care in cleaning and decorating their homes, and as evening falls, torches are lit along the streets, turning the city into a magical sight.
Traditional clothing and cultural attire. The clothing of men and women in this era is a mirror of their high culture and dignity. Men generally wear long shirts, waistcoats, and woolen cloaks to protect them from the weather. Women's clothing is modest and beautiful, consisting of long-skirted gowns and delicate lace scarves on their heads, which bring a special refinement to their personality. Most clothes are made from cotton, silk, and wool, prepared with great effort on handlooms. Attire not only indicates social status, but also showcases local craftsmanship, with embroidery and special buttons adding beauty to the garments. On occasions like weddings or festivals, colorful clothes are worn that brighten the whole atmosphere, while on ordinary days, simple and dignified colors are preferred. The use of jewelry is also balanced, with gold and silver rings and necklaces of ancient designs being worn by women as part of their family heritage.
Home life and cooking methods. The atmosphere inside the homes is very peaceful, where every family member knows the responsibilities, and the kitchen is considered the most important part of the house. Mud stoves and wood are used for cooking, and food cooked over a slow flame is unmatched in taste and nutrition. Large clay pots and vessels not only keep the food fresh, but also add a special earthy aroma to the dishes that increases the appetite. Women sit in the courtyards grinding spices and milling fresh grain, showing how hardworking and organized the women of this era were. The style of eating is also traditional. The whole family sits together on the floor around a cloth and eats while thanking God for his blessings. Clay bowls, wooden spoons, and copper plates are used, reflecting the simplicity and high standards of cleanliness of the time.
Trade, caravans, and the arrival of goods. Trade in 1500s London relies heavily on caravans that reach the city after crossing difficult paths from distant countries. The arrival of these caravans is a major event, as silk, muslin, perfumes, and rare metals loaded on camels and horses are unloaded into city warehouses. These traders bring not just goods, but also the civilizations, stories, and new inventions of other lands, which increases the knowledge of the local people.
This trade system is built entirely on trust and honesty, where a person's word is more important than a written contract, and every merchant values his reputation more than his life. Large inns, sarais, are built outside the city for the travelers, where they receive excellent food and lodging, and gatherings are held to discuss world affairs along with business. This flow of goods makes London economically strong and gives it the status of a global trade hub. The evening and night scene. As the sun sets and the shadows of evening grow dark, the entire village and city fall into a magical silence. Clay lamps at the doors and torches in the streets are lit, their flickering flames creating a charm in the darkness. People return home from work, and after eating dinner, they sit around a fire to listen to ancient stories and tales from their elders, which serve as lessons for the younger generation.
In the silence of the night, only the voice of a guard or the call of an animal can be heard. The rest of the world is in a deep sleep. The stars in the sky look so clear and bright that it feels as if one could reach out and touch them, as there was no pollution in this era. This peace and quiet sleep refresh the human spirit for the next day's work, and this is the time when the soul finds true tranquility, the greatest gift of London in 1500 AD.